Brown Chapel in Selma is where we started our journey, the same place the activists left from in 1965 as they set out on their march to Montgomery. They only got to the bridge out of town when they were confronted by police. We met the youngest person who was there that day.
This was the most traumatic experience of my life. The leaders of that march, they were asked to turn the marchers around. However, they refused. And after they refused, racism unleashed its brutality upon us. Tear gas had begun to burst in the air. People were being beaten down with billy clubs as if they weren't even human beings.
All week we weren't just looking back, but also at the issues that remain. In this area, there's still de facto segregation in schools. Here's what happened to one black parent we met who sent her daughter to an all-white private school.
Kids spray painted in the yard, go back home, and they created a website and a Facebook page, and there's graffiti spray painted of a Shania being hung from a tree that said, you know, MLK is a homosexual. I mean, there was just all this like negative stuff, and I'm like, this is all brewing underneath.
Education officials admitted there were problems, but said there was little that could be done to bring about true integration here. The landscapes in Alabama are beautiful, the people welcoming, but debates about race rage on. The state has one of the highest rates in the country for putting people in prison. African Americans told us they feel they're targeted by the police. The authorities insist that's not the case.
As a couple, our marriage is
We met those affected when, this very week, Alabama hit the headlines for another rights issue. The state's Chief Justice has just pushed through a ban on gay marriage here. When people look back on this issue, perhaps in 50 years' time, you stand by the decision you've made now, and you'll come out on the right side of history.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It will prove to be the right side of history because that's the way civilizations prosper.
We've seen this week there's clearly much to be resolved in terms of race, with many African Americans still asking, how long will it take? Not long, Martin Luther King told the crowds here in 1965, because the arc of the moral universe is long, he said, but it bends towards justice.